Go!
Hey everybody, how you doing today? Once again, this is Bloody Last Words for a weekly blog post here. Today's episode was kind of a bust because I was going to have an interview with my good friend Nightingale95, a video chat interview. However, due to some technical difficulties, it didn't happen. So I'm gonna have to save that for another time. And speaking of which, if anybody who's watching this knows how to combine two video pieces of video footage into one on a Windows Movie Maker or Sony Vegas or something like that, go ahead and send me a PM with how to do that because that would help a lot actually. Anyway, so I guess today instead I'm just going to briefly talk about a few story projects that I'm working on and get some opinions on them because I would like to hear what people have to say. First off, I have a new Cutie Mark Crusader story that I've been trying to get at for a while where they call the Kmart Crusaders, where they just go to Kmart and have some random adventures. Not that story is going nowhere fast, unfortunately. Um, and also in light of that, I have a couple of Hearts and Host Day fics that I'm working on. One is for a competition in the Decent Writers group, and that one's going to be a very unusual ship, one that probably nobody really has seen before. So I don't want to shed too much light on that, but it's going to be a lot of fun to write. So I'm excited for that one. And then another one is going to be a Spike Dash Hearts and Host Day fic. A really short, sweet one, which is also going to be a lot of fun to write. Because frankly, there's not enough Spike Dash in existence right now, in my opinion. Um, and also, I'm also going to be doing a couple of collaborative works coming up, which is something I've also never done before. One is going to be at least planned with the Scarlet Scarecrow, who's a very prolific writer. Very, he's very deep with how he writes, and it's going to be a kind of a tragedy romance kind of thing called One Day Too Late. That's all I'm allowed to reveal. I'll be handling kind of the mushy romance parts, that's my specialty, and he'll be handling the dark stuff because that's what he does. Anyway, and also I have something planned with probably one of my favorite authors on the site, Cerulean Voice. It's going to be a music inspired fic, but my inspiration just keeps failing me over and over again and gets shot down by the site rules several times. So that one's a bit slow in coming too, but it'll get here eventually. It's going to be a lot of fun. And just something I wanted to ask some opinions on. I know that recently I've released a couple of Spike Bell fics to very positive reviews. A lot of people really liked them. But honestly, I mainly just wrote those because I liked the ship and I wanted to gain a little bit of popularity. I wanted to contribute something to it. But my heart really wasn't into the ship as much as it could have been when writing it. So, I honestly can't consider that like my best work despite the popularity and the fan base that liked them. So I'm actually going to be moving away from that. So I apologize to anybody who made Belfix, if there's anybody out there. I don't know. I only have like 50 followers, so it's not a big deal. But instead, I'm gonna be trying to move more towards the Spike Dash area because I honestly love Spike Dash fics. It's gotta be one of my top three favorite shippings, right up there with Twixie and Spike Bell as well is awesome. I really wanted to try my hand at writing some Spike Dash, so that's gonna be kind of what I'm moving towards next. Um, Especially since I got inspiration from Mala Zhang, although he's no longer on the site. But I was recently able to get in contact with him, and he's one of the premier Spike Dash writers to ever actually be on the site. So that was pretty awesome. Um, and just one last thing, I know that a lot of people are somewhat disappointed. By a lot of people, I mean like three, maybe five people that really like the Asperity story that I've been writing. It's the first one that I published on the site called Secrets Behind the Letters. I absolutely despise that title. I just couldn't think of anything else at the time. It's basically about Spike going off to join the Royal Guard in an effort to protect Equestria from an invading force from Sombra. And although the war is one of the major parts of the story, it's going to take a background to a real weaving romance tale I'm doing. However, it's just taking me forever to actually get this thing off the ground and get started with it. Um, So if anybody could give me any inspiration to continue writing this, I would love it because I haven't updated in like 2 months now, and I don't want to be one of those writers who has a story that they just forget about for like 2 years before actually continuing it, and then get a lot of angry people. So if anybody could help with that, I'd be really appreciative. Just give me, shoot some ideas my way or whatever if you've taken the time to read it. Um, anyway, that's about it for now. Like I said, I had something completely different planned for today, but then didn't work out. So I'm gonna have to work on that for maybe a few days later. As soon as I get my technical bugs worked out and maybe figure it out, I'm definitely gonna post the interview that we did because Nine Gale is definitely an awesome writer. Deserves to get some limelight, so to speak. Anywho, that's all for this week. If you like it, if you like my stories, go ahead and press the follow button, you know, on my homepage or wherever you're watching this video at. And this is Bloody Last Words signing out. Keep it real.